Pankaji from Fajilka. Radhe Radhe Maharaji, obeisances at your lotus feet. Maharaji, it is written in the scriptures, and I have heard from saints that we should forget the world and be engrossed in the thoughts of God. But this seems difficult in practice, and in household life, it is creating an obstacle.
No, household life is not an obstacle, attachment is. Household life is not. How many people do you have in your household? A wife and 2 kids? 500 people. Do you understand? 500 people who have left their mother, father, their employees. They were very well educated, had good jobs, and they're here. They're all getting love. They're not just staying here like this, and we are imposing discipline on everybody. We're watching everybody, but with the mood that my Lord has come in this form and given me service. So if you do this bhav as well, then there is no obstacle. And to remember constantly, then whatever person, place, or thing is coming in your mind, just remember that Lord was the only one there before existence. He's the only one who will be left. So in the middle, it's only Him. So this way, that'll be your constant and your constant remembrance. So when we're chanting, wherever the mind goes, we just remember that this is the Lord only. And it's true because there's nobody else other than Him. We have attachment to the body. You're considering yourself to be the body, and you're considering your family to be yours. You've made this division. This is the thing causing an obstacle. You are ours, that's for true. You're sitting in front of us, and see how a person loves his real brother or their son or a good friend. We love you many more times than that, even though we're seeing you for the first time. Because in my heart, I feel that my Lord has come in this form, and then we talk to you this way. But if you get upset, then we'll try and convince you, pacify you that, no, you're going on the wrong path. Don't do this. But towards you, internally, our mood will not change. It will be that you're my Lord. So that will not make a difference. It'll make a difference to you because you don't have this bhav, this feeling. This is a division that you've created, that these are mine, these are not, these are good, these are not. This is a division that becomes an obstacle in bhajan, because we made a division that this is my worship part, my bhajan part, and this is my sense gratification. But when we combine the two and you partake in sense gratification as per the scriptures,
और नाथ सकल संपदा तुम्हारी और मैं सेवक समेत सुत नारी,
then you'll be able to obtain the Lord. We've divided the affairs of the world separately and kept it separately from worship. And that's what came out in your words, that household life is an obstacle. This morning in the discourse, we thanked household life. Where were we born? In a household. Where do we get alms? From householders. Who makes arrangements for our clothes? From householders. So does that mean that household life is lower? No. And after making arrangements for us, you still make arrangements for your family, and you still do worship, devotion. So if you compare the two, then you will come out on top. Isn't that true? You have to understand that to obtain the Lord, there is a big contribution by householders in life serve, the renounced folks. For example, if you are afflicted with lust, then, but you're married, then not a problem. But if a renounced person has lust, they have to tolerate, they have to fight, they have to defeat it. If they fail, they're failed. They're down to zero. But for you, you fail, you don't fail. Because you've taken a wife as per religion. So if you understand it this way, then it's like you're sitting in a secured fort and the saints are sitting out in the battlefield. So it is a very difficult walk for them. That's why the householders respect the saints, because wherever we slipped, you've passed. Where we are burning with agony, you've been able to progress. That's why the householders respect the saints. That's why, like, people support their parents, householders support the saints. For example, how householders take care of their children people take care of saints, and the householders are doing bhajan and earning and serving those who are worshiping the Lord. How great is that? For us to be able to do bhajan in peace and quiet, he's doing labor and saying Ram Krishna. To earn, to beg for alms, we go to his household, and he doesn't look at his own hunger, and he would give us food first. So obtaining the Lord in household is not difficult, but we don't understand it. So I tell you the truth, that householder life, it's very easy to obtain the Lord because the householder is doing a lot of service. We only have one service to do bhajan, devotion. And if we become weak in our devotion, then what's the point? Because we only have this one service. Just do a lot of bhajan, do a lot of devotional practice, and because of that, try and do welfare for society. And you have a service to serve the family, the guests and relatives, educate your children, and along with that, do bhajan. This is very brave. So if your bhajan gets stopped, then you're doing service, then just offer that service to the Lord. It will become bhajan. Do not think like this, that obtaining the Lord in household life is difficult. No. We should simplify, disentangle. Then you will see that it's very easy to obtain the Lord. Whatever you do all day, just don't do sinful activities and chant as much as possible. And then whatever you're doing, offer it to the Lord. The Lord is very merciful. By his mercy, along with doing everything, you can still chant. This is by practice. For example, when I'm talking to you, you can say, how can they do bhajan like this? But the ones who have practiced, they cannot stay without bhajan for even a moment. I'm looking at your face, but in your face, I'm seeing what I need to see. And based on that, I'm talking to you. You feel that I'm looking at you. But no, whatever is residing in my eyes, in my mind, that is what I'm seeing. For example, your heart beating. Are you the one doing it? No, it's happening on its own. Eyes are blinking on their own. It's their nature. This is how the name is. It just runs on its own when you have practice. So householder life, and if you just develop this firm faith that you're not going to do any sinful activities, then you will be able to obtain Lord. Bhaiji Maharaj, Radha Baba was in sannyas wage, and he was always close to Bhaiji Maharaj. Radha Baba was in red clothes. He was a sannyasi. But when Bhaiji Maharaj touched his feet, Radha Baba's feet, his consciousness changed and he could only think of Bhaiji. Then he realized how great Bhaiji was, and he is in household life. That he immediately changed his consciousness, and then Radha Baba took this vow that wherever Bhaiji lives, I will stay close to him. So in household life, he became so great that saints would come and listen to him. You listen to Bhaiji Hanuman Prasadji Modar. He was the one who formed the Gita Press. You can also function like that. If you think that in any great personality, there is some more power than us, it's not true. Everybody has the same element, God in all of them. And we also have the same 5 elements. But it is true that the more chintan, the more meditation you do on the Lord, then the power which is in you, which is hidden, will just come to the fore. And the more meditation you have of the world, then that power will be hidden. But if you have constant meditation of the Lord, then this power will arise. And then you feel that there's a difference in power. But no, there is the same elements that we have that you have. You just have to awaken it. And Lord does not see if somebody is a householder or renounced. He just sees who wants to meet me, who has this desire to meet me. You see, in a householder life, if householder life was difficult to obtain the Lord, then the topmost devotees are the gopis of Vrindavan. Whoever compares the topmost gopis, topmost devotees, they talk about gopis, they didn't take any sannyas, they were householders. They had husbands, children, they were doing all the activities. But Murari Padavrin Chatvitti, they were just thinking of the Lord. They were collecting cow dung, they're milking the cows, they're serving their children, but their mind is always on Krishna. So even great learned people like Uddhav glorified the gopis. Uddhav ji said that I glorify the gopis, I worship their lotus feet. And the great devotee Sukhdev ji is singing their song. Krishna is telling the gopis that even if I take birth over and over again, I cannot free myself of the debt towards you. Why? Because they gave their mind to Krishna. They engaged their mind in Krishna. We engage our mind in our body and the relatives and the affairs of the world. This is the thing we have to improve. We still have to behave the same way with everybody. If somebody thinks that I'll go in seclusion and then I will become realized, no, wherever you go, you'll still be under the sky in some corner of the world, but your consciousness is still going to be the same. You're going to take this body, for example, and if you have a truck and it has 100 boxes, if somebody wants to examine, they will examine one box and they'll get a sample of everything. So the mind is a sample of the entire universe, So you're going to take this universe with you. This deception is going to go with you. So this deception, this untruth that we have inside, if we leave that, then even living outside in the world, you can become a Mahatma. But if you don't leave what's inside, then even though externally you might be doing anything, you'll still be involved in material things. So the Lord has given us this path since birth. So we're walking this path.
जे प्रभु आज्ञा जे का जस आई सोते भांति रहे सुखलाई भगवान ने मुझे वैराग्य मार्ग दिया.
So it is not like that what I will obtain, you will not obtain. The human life is to obtain the Lord. If you can very easily obtain the Lord in household life. Naat sakal sampada tumhari, main sevak samet sutnari. So whatever karma you do, offer it to the Lord. Chant as much as possible. Don't do sinful activities. Nirmal manjana, so mohi pava, mohi kapat chal chidra na bhava. So don't do anything which is opposed to the Lord, anything sinful. Any doubts? Okay.